All right, everybody, welcome back to Home Recording Solutions. I've got a little tutorial for you guys today. I want to show you 3 EQ moves to get radio ready polished vocals. And so I've got this vocal here that I did on this song, and I've stripped off all the EQ and compression and everything, so this is just the raw vocal. In my dreams I see you there, still here with me, before you went away to a bed. Okay, so not bad, but there are some things that we need to do to polish this up and to help it to fit into the mix, because here's the thing, it sounds okay right now, but once we put this into a mix that has other instruments like bass or drums and guitars and all that, this vocal is probably going to get lost and all that. So I want to show you how to polish things up here with 3 EQ moves. So let's go ahead and do that. I am pulling up an equalizer. In this case, I'm using the FabFilter Pro Q2, but it doesn't have to be this one. It can be any equalizer. And the first thing that I'm going to do is high pass the low end, okay? And I'm going to run this up to, in this case, to about, let's say about 130. So high pass your vocal up to at least 100 hertz, if not a little bit more, and that just rolls off everything in the real lows here. You don't want anything in the lead vocal down here. Typically this is where your kick drum and your bass guitar are going to be living, and to get vocals that cut through all of that, you don't really need anything in the lead vocal down here. There's nothing that's actually useful in the lead vocal down here in a mix with drums and guitars and so forth. So the first move that I do is a high pass filter or a low cut filter, however you want to call it. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to insert an EQ point here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise this up real high, about 10 dB, and I'm going to narrow that Q. And I'm going to go sweeping around in the low mids here for that area of the lead vocal that is muddy. Maybe there's a lot of chest resonance, and that area that's going to sort of just muddy up the vocal, that's going to make it not cut through the mix as well. And this is typically going to be found in the area from about 150 hertz to 400 hertz or so. Okay, so I'm going to start playing the lead vocal, and I'm going to sweep around and see if I can find where that muddy area is in the vocal. Here we go. In my dreams I see you there, still here with me, before you went away to... So there is some chest resonance there at 147. A lot going on here at 200. All right, so as we can see here, I'm sweeping around, and it feels like that even with that high pass filter, there's still a lot of mud here and chest resonance at about 150 hertz. See, I'm moving away from it and it gets less. Moving back. Okay, it gets louder now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here at about 150 hertz or so, approximately 150 hertz. I'm going to widen that Q out a little bit. And I've got a cut here of about 3 dB. Okay, it doesn't have to be 3 dB. It can be whatever you need it to be. All right, but in this case, I've found the frequency that sounds muddy, and I've cut it about 3 dB, and I've widened the Q out a little bit. And so this is what we have so far I'm going to bypass this plugin. All right, and show you what we have so far. I see you there, still here with me. Before unbypass. You went away. Wow. To a bypass. Better place. Nothing unbypass. Here has been the same since you've been gone. It's hard to say fair. Wow. So just with those 2 EQ moves already, we see a vast improvement in the lead vocal. There is already so much more clarity in the lead vocal just from doing those first 2 EQ moves. It's already made a drastic difference. Now, I'm going to do one more EQ move. I'm going to go way up here to the high end, insert a shelf. Okay, a high shelf. I'm going to tighten up that Q a little bit, and I'm going to go to about 8 kilohertz. Okay, and I'm going to do a shelf of about 2 or 3 dB at about that 8. It doesn't have to be exactly 8, but 8 seems to be kind of a sweet spot a lot of times. So as you can see here, I've got a high shelf at 8 kilohertz, raising 3 dB on the volume here of these frequencies of this shelf. All right, now let's hear. I'm going to bypass this and show you what that sounds like. In my dreams I see you. That's without the shelf. Still here with me. Before now the shelf. You went away. All right. So to a better place. It's very subtle. It's not a life and death difference here, but it's there. You can hear it when I bypass this shelf. You can hear a little bit of a difference here. There's a little more top end, a little more sizzle, a little more sheen on the vocal in the high frequencies. So I'm going to bypass the high shelf again. Nothing unbypass. Here has been the same since you've been gone. It's hard. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass the whole EQ now. Okay. I'm going to bypass everything. And now that we've made these 3 EQ moves, I'm going to unbypass the plugin and show you what a drastic difference this makes. So here we go with the raw vocal not processed with EQ yet. In my dreams I see you. Kick in the EQ. Still here with me. Wow. Before you went so much more clarity. To a better place. Nothing here has been the same. Wow. Since you've been That's insane. Gone. It's hard to say fair. In my dreams I see you there, still here with me. Okay, so you can see here that with just these 3 EQ moves, we've taken a vocal that sounded kind of muddy and a little bit muffled, and we've brought clarity to it, and we've helped it to really cut through. If we were to put this in a mix, it's going to make it cut through a lot better. Now, these obviously are general guidelines, and I'm not saying that these are the only EQ moves that you need to make in a vocal. Obviously, where you set these parameters may be different depending on the vocal, and you may need to boost and cut things in the other areas as well. So I'm not saying that there's only three EQ moves that you need to make when EQing a vocal, but what I am saying is that this gives you a very good general guideline. It gives you a good start to get polished vocals that are going to cut through in the mix and sound more radio ready. So I hope that helps. Use this as a guideline when you're EQing your next vocal, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.